Okay, welcome everyone to the week two cast number 2. We have two more casters, and we have two more matches to cast. Joining today is gonna be Hornet. Hello, Hornet.
Hello, Nebula.
And it's gonna be Corvus Mallory.
Hey everybody, thanks Nebula for bringing me on.
No problem. We're gonna have two matches, one from Topaz and one from Ruby. We're gonna begin with the Topaz one. It's gonna be Coding versus iSkate4PlanB. Two newer players. Before we start, we're gonna look at the leaderboards. We're gonna look at the scoring so far. There's only been two matches played so far. Also, this division only has 4 players, and iSkate4Plan just joined last week, I think. So there's still a little bit of catching up. So that's why there's only two matches been played. Don't look at that. Why is it like that? Okay, there we go. Perfect. Anyhow, take it away, casters. What do you think of these two players that we're gonna see right now?
I'm actually really excited for both of these players. Coding, of course, has been this is not going to be their first competitive event. They were in Hex Cup. They've played a bunch on stream. They actually came to the community as kind of a casual stream player, and then really got into the competitive scene, which is always a fun transition to watch. I skate for Plan B. A newer player. I believe this is going to be their first competitive event, and this match might in fact be their competitive debut, but has been LFGing tons in the server, has been doing dailies. So I'd say at this point, they're a new player, but they are by no means a completely inexperienced player.
Yeah, and I could not have said it better. Coding coming in with a little bit of competitive experience. Uh, I know he played a lot of matches in Hex Cup. I think he may have also been in Penguin Pool. Skate. So yeah, this is his first competitive event. And you're right, he has been very active. I've played him myself. Getting a lot of experience in. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of the classic. Lots of experience. Versus that competitive experience, and we'll see which one has the edge today.
Well, we've got the picks and bans. So we have, I think these bans are so interesting. I mean, we look at Skate for Plan B, and it's the ban onto Redwoods and restrict onto Library. And then we look at the bans from Coding, and it's the ban onto Terrace and the restrict on Balcony. So we've got Skate for Plan B banning some of the bigger, more traditional 5084. Spy side, the traditional thing with Gallery that people talk about is pacing with the ST and the double agent, because they can be so tricky. There's so many pads for the ST to wander around to, for the DA especially to wander around to. We have seen Coding get into a little bit of pacing trouble from time to time. Gallery would not be a good place for that to happen. So I'm hoping that we see both of these spies not just trying to make those tricky plays in the background, like you mentioned, to exploit how difficult this venue can be for a newer sniper, but also making sure that they're diligent about getting their flirts in. They're taking good opportunities for contact. Because the thing I don't want to see one of these players do is end up with a minute and a half left and have to bail on contact or flirt and do another hardtail.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of those venues where you can be punished for not being decisive and spend, tons of time just waiting for the ST or DA to get into place. And it looks like the stream is back up. Nebula, are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Okay,
All right, well
so
then let's get into the first game. Coding as green dress on gallery. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Looks like we're just going to try to get into this back conversation. Double Agent is here. Selection targets, small man will join also, so we'll take that 100%.
yeah, definitely going to take the flirt here. And actually, we go ahead and take the contact. I want to say, usually maybe early contacts aren't the best, but there's quite a lot with real right now, especially with the SDA being in the back conversation.
This is so tragic. Coding went for an amazing play. We went for a contact into an immediate red flirt, making Smallman split from the conversation. But Smallman has actually earned a low light for that, for being assumed out for BB. So what could have been an amazing Smallman highlight for a contact split has actually ended up with our ST low lit and now wandering around the venue.
Yeah, and I was going to say, as bad as that is, Smallman going outside may have worked in our favor if he had stayed there, because with the sniper usually more focused on the back end of the party towards the bookcases, we can maybe get some cheese flirts, but Smallman immediately leaves as we arrive.
Yeah, I have actually never seen that play before, so I was a big fan. But okay, we're highlight here for a pair of inspects. Selection target goes back to the back conversation, so we get to go back there and try to pick up some initial flirt. It looks like coding is headed that way. So far, a fairly standard gallery game with the possible exception of that early contact, but we do land a cross conversation from Smallman. This is going to be a rough flirt.
Yeah, picking up the pair of inspects too. So luckily we do get the flirt progress. Unfortunately, it's only the minimum percentage that we can get, so it's still a long way from finishing that mission. Oh, it looks like we were safety off on Seek there for a moment, but may have not been anything.
Yeah, it looks like SpyParty is trying to maintain some control of the party. We go for a bug. That was amazing. I think that landed. It's unclear to me how much that was seen, if at all.
Yeah, that was quite a nice bug. I'm thinking I didn't happen to see, but the sniper may have been zoomed out since the ambo was outside. But still with the positioning, I think we may have gotten away with that.
That's 2 missions done, partial inspects and partial flirts. At this point, going back to statues is one way to finish this game as long as we can get those flirts in. We talked about this pregame. Smallman is at bookcases. We're going to be offered a drink again. We're going to purloin this time. It's a green, so it's going to come down to this. We may avoid flirt entirely if we decide to go back to statues, or we may finish with partial inspects. Here comes the take. The fade is kind of visible because it's gone so quickly. What's the reaction going to be from SpyParty? It looks like a lot of, and the shot comes off on the taker, and that is going to be a civ shot win for Coding to start off the match.
Yeah, very impressive play from Coding. I mean, he's looking to finish there with about 2 minutes left on the clock. Generally not something you see from newer players, but yeah, Coding really just loves to step on the gas, and yeah, that green purloin could not have come at a better time.
Yeah, and the bug was indeed off camera. We were zoomed in, but even if the sniper had been zoomed out, it's still pretty nice. Like the arm extension could be visible, but it wasn't. And that was a really nice game.
Yeah, all around very impressive start from Coding.
All right, well, SpyParty is going to have to try to come back on the spy side. We've got our next game coming up with SpyParty as General, Coding on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so I think we're all pretty excited here to see, what kind of player SpyParty is. That's the one thing I love about Topaz is just seeing newer players, and it's got to be, a little exciting to not only have your first match, but it also to be a fully casted match like this. So, um, yeah, pretty fun times. Yeah, so no, just kind of in an innocent conversation, and our ST does join us, so I believe we will go ahead and take that flirt progress.
Yeah, we will. That's 27%. That's a green test to open things off. I will be interested to watch to see what kind of action tester we have here. as we path behind and get a bug off the ambassador. The pathing there was maybe a little bit awkward, but the bug was well hidden, and there's no indication whatsoever, I think, that we have any heat for that bug. So a beautiful bug coming behind the back conversation on gallery to open things up. SpyParty with 3 minutes on the clock is already in a fantastic position.
Yeah, I love the initiative to go ahead and take that bug, especially early
Mhm.
on when we're not a highlight. We have no other mission progress, so there's no real reason for the sniper to be looking at us. Um, and honestly, the path looked a little off, but I think, with the collision with Toby, any sniper may have thought, okay, that could be a possible route.
We're seeing a sniper style from coding that we have seen before from him. This style of zooming in on things and zooming back out, and then zooming in on things and zooming back out. Meanwhile, we have a white contact go off, so that'll be a second mission done. We also have more flirts. I mean, this is shaping up to be a fantastic game for SpyParty to open things up.
Yeah, another very productive contact with the SDA and the DA both being in, both conversations relatively full. Yeah, 59% flirt, very good position to get a finish here, and I would not think that we have picked up much suspicion at this point.
We're gonna get another far flirt in this conversation. We didn't want to cram him next to Twin. And here it comes, another green test. 96% now on flirt with 2 minutes left. The only question is, what's our fourth mission going to be? Are we going to be willing to go statue to statue in the last minute and a half of this game? Because that's what's going to take to finish without doing another hardtail.
Yeah, that is a good question. With how little suspicion we picked up at this point, you really don't want to blow it all in one mission. So yeah, of course the statue to statue is on the table. I don't think we're going to pick up two fingerprints this quickly. Purloin, it's always an option. But yeah, not yeah, it's really just going to be the decision. I think right now, okay, we're content to go ahead and finish up the flirt, which we do. And yeah, so now the question is do we take our time or do we go ahead and try to finish, before the sniper might be expecting a finish?
We don't have a lot of time. It looks for SpyParty is on the statue plan. So here we come in. We'll pick up, hopefully, a pair of inspects here. We see the rotation coming in for the swap, but not really actually looking. And here comes the swap! It's just a white swap. Coding rotating over to try to get a look at it. We get highlight. How long can we delay on this pad? It's beautiful! And we block the statue as long as we possibly can, and SpyParty walks away from this with a spy win answer of their own.
Oh, beautiful play from Skate. And that was one finish I honestly hadn't even considered, was just going for the swap. And he not only did he use General's big body to block that, he perfectly timed it so that it was centered in front of him during the swap, just buying him about, I want to say about 7 seconds of that statue being perfectly blocked. And I think he even walked away, leaving it blocked for an extra couple seconds, not giving the sniper much time to react at all.
Yeah, no, fantastic play from SpyParty. I mean, if that's how you open up with a spy game in your competitive SpyParty, I think that puts everyone on notice.
Absolutely. Yeah, very impressive. That's definitely a play that like much more advanced player could have done. Yeah, very very good stuff from iSkate.
All right, well, here we come into game three, all tied up so far, and coding on the spy side as queen. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. We've got a small one ST once again.
Yep, spawning right next to our ST. He has not settled down yet. This early on, we could probably just go ahead and just take the flirt. I don't think Sniper's gonna be paying too much attention to her behavior.
It's another red test. That's a second red flirt. Now, this one, I think the first one may have been intentional. I think this one probably was not. We go for this bug. That's the kind of bug that's always very tempting on gallery. We did have a little bit of cover from Salmon, so it may not have been seen. No highlight coming off. But I'd love to see these. Oh, never mind. I think it may have been.
Yeah, I skate on top of that, and also honestly an impressive shot. I know generally those bugs usually aren't advised on gallery because the arm, without a little bit of help, the arm will be visible. I do like the fact that it was taken early though, before we really had any suspicion from other missions. So it's one of those ones where you could get away with it. You're just kind of banking on the sniper being distracted at that time.
Yeah, those ambassador positions of the paintings are such spy bait, but they often do not work out. Good discipline, I guess, from SpyParty saying, look, I'm going to wait for a clear shot. I'm going to take a second to think about what I just saw. I'm not just going to try to shoot into traffic. And SpyParty has now taken the lead in this set, heading onto the spy side of gallery, playing as Duke. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so definitely, feeling a little probably more comfortable now.
Look
Got
at
got
this.
this.
We've got a Purloin attempt at side paintings. Are we going to take it? This was a request. No, we just take a drink. I think maybe we decided too much laser attention and decided to change plans.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think he maybe just looked around the party and just didn't think that the sniper had any reason to be looking at anything else but the take. So yeah, nice decision making from Skate, because I think we likely would get shot if we hit a white Purloin in that situation.
We're hearing this conversation. We're really trying to get through this drink. Double Agent is with us. SpyParty is looking around the party. Honestly, it's not a terrible contact for gallery, and we will take the contact.
Yeah, once again, very very good contact. Both conversation circles full. Yeah, do not blame him at all. And we pick up the red, or I'm sorry, the green flirt for 51%. Very good start.
Cooldown has expired, or ST build after that flirt, so everything turning up SpyParty's way so far. Question becomes, of course, we'll get our contact, we'll get our flirt, that seems clear. We were thinking about Purloin earlier. Will we try to go for it again? There's a bit of a chain built up.
Yeah, quite a few options, and apparently he is tracking fingerprints because Emma just left a fingerprint for us on green, so that should be a one fingerprint in hand.
Yeah, and there it is, no hesitation whatsoever. We could even take this book out. Coding is paying so much attention to Toby here. Again, we're seeing that zoom in, zoom out dynamic sniper style that we often see from them. But it looks like the book will go back, and SpyParty is going to head outside to our selection target.
Really just feels like a very solid player so far. Like generally with newer players, you don't really see the awareness to go for the fingerprints. You don't really see pacing at this level. Yeah, very impressive spy play thus far.
Heading back inside after picking up a white flirt. Not going to stay there and try to timer flirt it at all. We go for a pug. That does not land. Ambassador goes the wrong way. But again, it had a significant amount of cover, both psychological and physical, and we get a second fingerprint. Nice.
And it's a difficult as well, and we get it. Yeah, once again, Skate is in a situation where I really doubt that the sniper is aware of what progress we have. We have been seen at both bookcases, so even though it's fingerprints that we took, we might actually have microfilm credit though, so we do need to keep that in mind.
Waiting for ST to settle in conversation. We can just join right here. And we can pick up that last flirt. That's 3 missions done. But time has ticked down. We don't really have time to do inspect without it being really gross. And
Yeah, this kind of feels like a Purloin finish. I think maybe we're just hoping that we get a reject right before us so that white wouldn't guarantee a death. No, looks like we're actually going to go for the bug instead.
the rotation from coding came out at the worst possible moment, rotating left. So focused on this statue, and this is going to be a complete ghost game. And we're going to come away with a win. And SpyParty goes up 3-1 on their own pick of gallery.
Yeah, very, very good play from iSkate. Good decision. Yeah, and just great timing on the bug attempt.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that game. Like, I liked pretty much everything that happened in it. The one thing I'll say about Skate's spy play is that there is still a little bit of just like mechanical things to lock down. Animation breaks out of conversation, sip breaks, things like that. But then again, like if you're playing against an opponent that's not punishing you for it, those are just things to do that are correct because they help your spy play go faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on a venue like Gallery where there's so many things to pay attention to, you can often get away with those etiquette breaks. And yeah, honestly, just looking like a really solid player. It would not, if you showed me this match and didn't tell me who was playing, I would just assume it was, an experienced player making these plays.
All right, well, we are headed off to High Rise 3 of 6. You mentioned about how much there is to pay attention to on Gallery. We're getting a very different style of venue here. Coding on the spy side as salmon, transfer and print turned off. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So yeah, just starting with an innocent book. I think AI probably led us here, so just probably just gonna go along with it and see how the party settles out. Yeah, I think looks like our ST went to the other bookcase, so probably just gonna wait for them to get in a conversation.
It must have been very tempting for coding there to try to take the purloin at bookcase. But so early with no chain at all can be very punishing if the sniper does take note of it. So we decide discretion is the better part of valor. Our selection target will join us in this conversation very far away. Presumably coding will take this flirt, and there it is. White test for 17%.
Yeah, so both of the players played very aggressive, had very good pacing on gallery. High Rise is kind of a different story. You really don't have much clock to work with, even though it's only 3 missions. It's really hard to get those in the
Here's the
space of
purloin.
only a few minutes.
An immediate shot from Skate for Plan B. Not waiting a second more, knows exactly what happened, and coding not going to get away with that in front of the sniper.
Yeah, good tracking from Skate. I think I see the idea of coding. Sometimes, based off how the conversations are filled up, you can maybe get away with those purloins, but I think Skate was just too on top of the list.
All right, well, time to flip the sides. We've got Kane on the spy side, coding back on the sniper. Same missions. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so it seems like the style from Skate thus far, he maybe doesn't take too many big risks, but just kind of goes for those, sneaky little soft tells where, the sniper really has to be paying attention. Let's see if he continues that strategy moving forward.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see Prince turned off for skates. Just because I think he did use them really effectively on gallery, but all right, fine. I mean, I'm sure Purloin is also gonna be an option for us as we get our 20% flirt across. Lots of flirts across conversation here, and we have a request coming into a Purloin, and this one is gonna be green as we walk away from conversation.
Yeah, so just as I was talking about risk taking, goes straight in for the purloin. So it's really just a question now of how closely is coding watching that chain.
Yeah, I think the answer might be not closely enough. We're trying to get a look at the list, and now we see it's gone. Double zoom in probably confirms that. So now the question is, who's in this chain? Sick probably should be, but who else do we know? And not a lot of reaction coming out from coding.
Yeah, and also the action of just instantly leaving after the reject that can definitely work against other newer snipers because like on one case it just looks like a walk away reject, right, where you didn't even have where you didn't select the option. And then the other is, after they see the list gone, they may just look to see who's next to you in conversation. So yeah, I think we got it. We get away with a bug as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a dirty little bug going through that like statue screen doorway place. I'm surprised that that landed, to be honest. And now we're in a situation where we can just play a silent game.
uh, yeah, just smooth sailing from here. And I think the sniper's already on edge from having missed a purloin, so they're looking at anything that could look like a finish. And yeah, it looks like Disney takes a bullet for us.
That bug was really quite nice. I really can't say anything other than that. I mean, yes, we ended up with a civ shot. We didn't get to mission win, but I think, that's a civ shot that was prompted by our ability to get that purloin done. But even still, Escape for Plan B was on their way to an amazing spy win and is really pulling ahead in this set.
Yeah, that was a beautiful game, and like I was saying, he's shown that he can kind of play different types of styles. He can be that sneaky ghost style spy, or just fully send it, and both are working out for him so far.
All right, well, Coding looking to at least be able to tie the high rise venue, playing on the spy side as Disney, same missions. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so I think this is Coding's double. So I think if there's ever a time to pull ahead, this would certainly be the opportunity. Yeah, 4-1. Definitely want to try to pick up some wins here, get back into
Oh!
it, and
And the
that
shot, there was a ton of traffic around the ambassador, and I think we may just have given Duke a little bit of bug credit here.
yeah. Let's see what happened here.
That's all it could possibly be.
Yeah, nothing else really happened there. Had a little bit of a bounce, and he was kind of in a little hidden spot where it looked like he could have bugged. Yeah, maybe just one of those phantom type situations.
Yeah, and that is something that's always a question, right? Do you want to take that shot immediately and move on to the next game, or do you want to wait a little bit? On the gallery game, taking the shot immediately totally worked out, and on the high-res game, it means that SpyParty is back to the spy side, playing as green dress, drink in hand, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So just going straight to the innocent conversation. It's probably a pretty normal strategy on high rise where you're just kind of waiting for the party to settle a little bit.
Yeah, we don't try to cram into painting there to get the flirt with general. The SDA, I think, was also standing there. It was fairly crowded, so I totally get that. Although you'd be surprised how many AIs can fit on that tiny little painting pad.
Yeah, and I kind of understand. When chasing the ST around, like sometimes when they go to windows, by the time you get there, they're just going to leave because the stays are so variant. And it looks like that's exactly what happens with the conversation circle. I was going to mention how they usually stay in conversation a little bit longer, but general not playing nice so far.
Coding kind of zoomed in on us, getting so close to our ST in that conversation, and now we've chased them all the way to bookcase. We've also requested a drink while at bookcase. This is all very weird. That request is not going to do anything. Here's another green flirt, so great action test rate actually from Skate, but I'm wondering if Coding is putting together a flirt pair for the two of us.
Yeah, it's possible. This is the second time we've been seen with general. We will finish on our next flirt, regardless of the distance. Um, I don't think that alone will get a shot, but maybe just something for the sniper to pay attention to. We have gotten quite close to our ST again. I think, yeah, maybe just waiting once again to see where they settle. And that actually kind of worked out nicely, because in this case it didn't really look like we were chasing, although we kind of were. General actually settled next to us after we had already settled. So pretty clean first mission. So now just the question is, how do we finish? I assume contact will be one, but what else do we want to do here?
Yeah, time is really ticking down. I mean, we can get our contact in, we just switch conversations, but it's not going to be. Oh no, the double agent leaves! We have to unswitch conversations. All very awkward. But we do land with the DA. We have some opportunities here, but it's not a good contact.
Yeah, definitely not ideal, and the chasing the double agent may have been noticed. There was some other party activity going on though, so I think we kind of got away with that. Yeah, so honestly, we're kind of at a point where we take a contact, and really the only thing left is and looks like general takes that one for us. I think that actually did appear to be a white contact for general. I don't know if that was intentional, but yeah, definitely worked out for us.
Yeah, general, it's so easy to have bug credit or something like that. So unlucky, I think, in this case for Coding, who is now down, I want to say 6-2 in the set.
Yeah, I do believe that is correct.
All right, and here we come to a courtyard, beginning of our singles, and Coding on the spy side playing as Kane. 4 of 7, excuse me. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so I believe Courtyard was one of Skate's picks. Generally a map or a venue that you'd like to be on when you already have a lead, because it's one of those venues where you can feel pretty confident about winning the sniper side. It's like not as much that you have to pay attention to, not as much going on. Don't have to worry about bugs. So yeah, generally, like really, if you can track fingerprints and no crazy bugs happen, it's one of those ones where you can feel pretty on top of it.
We took a very early contact here, and SpyParty has not low-lit anyone off that contact. So that contact we got for free here on Courtyard, which is a big deal.
Yeah, that's actually huge. Because like we're saying, Coding's getting into kind of must-win territory here. Actually, no, he's already in must-win territory if he wants to tie. So, yeah, getting that kind of progress this early. Oh, and we go for the inspect swap already. Unfortunately, that would not end the game. So if Skate sees that swap at any point, then he could at least narrow it down to the two statue goers.
It's so often not something you're looking for, though, especially not the fade here. We have so much attention being paid. There's the swap, and we just scrolled over, saw it, and casually scrolled back. So I have no reason to believe at this point that SpyParty has that swap anywhere on their radar. And coding can step on the gas. All we need is 2 more flirts.
Yeah, this actually could be one of those situations where, you see the statue and then you question whether you memorized them right to begin with. Oh, and here come the lowlights, actually, and we're one of them. So he apparently did remember the statues. He is aware of the swap, but he doesn't quite have the statue gore correct.
Yeah,
And
strange finish there. We low light a bunch of people and then just shoot the swapper. Unfortunately, the swapper was not the spy, and coding with a nice aggressive play on courtyard is going to pick up a much-needed win.
yeah, honestly, really impressive by coding. Like, I like the timing of this because, swap is generally either done like so early that the sniper didn't see the statues, or very late in the game when either you're body blocking or they're just distracted. Doing it right in the middle is actually quite clever because it's just so unexpected and really paid off in this case.
All right, well, here we come. SpyParty now on the spy side, needing a spy win to take the entire set on match point. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so coding put himself in a pretty good situation because courtyard, now you just hold your spy and you can be in a 6-4 situation. Um, but yeah, as we've seen, Skate, he's been very impressive, and I think he's more than capable of finding a way to win here on courtyard. Um, and honestly, a lot of it's going to be just the sniper just being diligent, making sure not to sieve shoot.
Yeah, we have seen some civ shots here. It's always a risk that you face as sniper, but SpyParty has a green flirt in bag, 2.5 minutes on the clock, so not a very forgiving time remaining at this point. But we're in conversation with the double agent. We probably want some of these statue visitors to get back in before we fire off the contact.
Yeah, good pacing here, but yeah, unfortunately, of course we don't know that the SDA's out. Most people are in conversation, so I do think he will take this quite soon. Oh, and actually perfectly times it when the SDA goes back to conversation. So very, very nice contact. Like what would have been only 4 reels or 4 or 5 reels has become, about 9 or so. So yeah, beautiful contact.
We do miss the green flirt, a little bit of shake of annoyance from SpyParty, but that's fine at this point. The real question here is not the flirt. I'm not worried about flirt at all. I have a lot more worry around the 3rd and 4th missions as we're ticking down under 100 seconds. We do have a purloin chain going with a highlight, so that's always an option, but no, we're going to prioritize flirt and get that done.
Yeah, so surely we're going to take inspects, I want to think. It's usually a free mission on courtyard. Yeah, only just the final mission is usually what gets us shot.
Do you think it's just going to be an inspect swap? We're just going to go for an inspect white swap?
That's what I would expect. But knowing Skate, I wouldn't be surprised if he sneaks in like a green purloin or maybe even a bug. But yeah, I'm interested to see what he goes for. And he does go for the purloin, and it's once again a green.
Very quick purloin there from Skate. And now this could also just be civ shot bait. We've seen that from coding before. Here comes the take. Is this going to be... No, yes, there it is. Okay, a low light takes. What's the reaction going to be? We're at statues right now.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he's feeling pretty safe at statues because with the previous purloins, yeah, and Civ does take it. Yeah, very impressive first match for Skate. Looked like a very experienced player out there.
Yeah, and that's going to be the match win. On courtyard, not going to make it to Taean, but in terms of these two players in Topaz, like this, I think this speaks really well for the quality of matches we're going to see in Topaz going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Skate, I'm still interested to see. We know he's in a division with a Blood Red Yeti, who's already, is already a new promising player, and then he's got the veteran and One Hopping Bunny. So I would love to see how those matches play out.